NFL experience. Call for tickets 989-5151.
Try the new 6-cheese pizza for $7.99 and get a second for just $4 more. And don't forget to add your favorite toppings.
Check your local Yellow Pages for the Pizza Hut delivery unit nearest you.
People of the Twin Cities are hungry. Hungry for more news. Hungry for fresh news. Because fresh news at 10 is good news at 10. To satisfy this hunger, Channel 4 aggressively updates the news and gives you late-breaking stories that happen after 6, bringing you the freshest news at 10. Tune in and discover why. When you're watching today's WCCO television news at 10, you won't miss a thing.
Watch Channel 4's pregame special today at 2.
It's Super Bowl Sunday. This WCCO Super Bowl Sunday pregame special is sponsored in part by Domino's. Call Domino's now and get a Super Bowl super deal with any pizza purchase. By GMC Trucks, the official truck of the 1992 Super Bowl. And by Total. One bowl provides 100% vitamin and mineral nutrition for the day. Now, live from the Hubert H. Humphrey Metrodome, here's Cindy Hilger and Don Shelby.
Good afternoon, everybody. It is time for Super Bowl Sunday, Minnesota style. Welcome to our coverage of the pregame activities.
And the Super Bowl fans are on the move. Our cameras caught these pictures, loaded, 35 buses rather, loaded with fans on 35W, headed for downtown Minneapolis, and the buses haven't stopped coming yet. The gates here at the Hubert Humphrey Metrodome have just opened, and the fans are starting to pile in. Quite a few fans already. You would never know it was 3 hours before game time, would you, Don?
No, and you would never realize that people were complaining about the cold not too long ago. They've come here early, and they've stayed outside. But it's still more than 3 hours away from kickoff time. And the fans have gathered not only here at the Metrodome, but they've gathered at all kinds of locations all around the Twin Cities, and we've got it covered for you. There's a giant indoor tailgate party underway at the Civic Center in St. Paul. Brad Good will be reporting from there in just a moment. And at the International Market Square back in Minneapolis, there's a Super Bowl beach party going on inside, of course. Amy Marsalis is there, and she'll explain what that is all about. And then over at the Hyatt, and that is the official media headquarters, and a portion of the NFL staying there. The official Scott Reynolds will be there covering all of the activities, and he'll fill us in when he comes live on the scene in just a few minutes from now.
We're also going to check in over at the Convention Center here in downtown Minneapolis at the NFL Experience, an experience that attracted, they say, hundreds of thousands of people down to the Convention Center. First, however, we're going to go center stage in this major attraction.
Center stage, of course, means right down in the Metrodome where Mark Rosen is standing by. Mark?
Well, Don, I'm actually standing by just about where the Twins won the 7th game of the World Series. And you think about how the Metrodome was put on another face here to host a major event like this. Of course, the Super Bowl with the Final Four yet to come. And this place is decked out to the nines here for this incredible day where over 750 million people worldwide will be watching what's taking place here at the Metrodome. Kickoff at 5:18 this afternoon, although the fans, once they get in, and they are just starting to fill in right now, will have an active role in this game. They want to soak up everything that's going to happen here in the next 3 hours before kickoff. There's going to be an incredible pregame show. The new Jumbotron scoreboard will be in use. And in fact, the fans in here today will be able to take part in the halftime show with a special card display that everyone across the nation and the world will be able to see. So this is a special event. Yes, a lot of people will be watching it on television, but there's nothing quite like being here. And that's what these fans are going to experience for a once-in-a-lifetime occasion. We'll have a lot more on what's taking place as the Redskins and Bills get ready a bit later.
All right, thank you very much, and we'll be back with much more of Mark Rosen later on, but we want to check in with Mike Walsh, who's standing outside of Gate F. That is the main gate right on 6 in Chicago. Mike?
Well, Don, the snow clouds are thickening up, and that east wind is growing sharper by the minute, but it's not cutting into the festive mood of the arriving Bills and Redskins fans outside Gate F at the Metrodome. I have to say, we were here at about 11:30 this morning, and the Bills fans seem to be in evidence first. We saw more red, white, and blue Zubaz per square yard than you'd see anywhere outside of a Buffalo Bills sports specialty shop. And over here, the gates have just opened, and some of the first fans are going in, and we can part through there and see them, the first ticket holders entering for Super Bowl 26. Some of the fans who've arrived include these two. You're from Buffalo.
Jeff Cross from Buffalo, New York.
How are you enjoying it so far?
Good. Minneapolis is nice. Looking forward to a good game.
What do you say to... now, wait a minute. What's this over here? What do you say to this guy?
Looks like a hog. Hogs eat the buffaloes today.
Your reply?
Woo! Come on, Skins! Come on, Skins!
All right, they're getting in the mood for Super Bowl 26. Don and Cindy.
All right, thank you very much, Mike. We're going to see a lot of that.
You betcha. Right now, we're going to switch over to the other side of downtown Minneapolis. Alan Cox is standing by at the Hyatt Regency, where shuttle buses are loading up, getting ready to come down here to the Dome. Alan?
Cindy, I covered the first baseball game at the Dome in 1982, and there was supposed to be a big traffic jam, so I drove in the middle of it, and there was no traffic jam. There was no confusion. Well, today will be the acid test. 10 years later, after that first game at the Dome, thousands, tens of thousands, out-of-towners trying to find their ways there, and an armada of buses. Mike Christensen of the MTC is in charge of those. Mike, how's it going so far?
Alan, it's going very well. It's truly mass transit here in the streets, as you can see, for miles in each direction there, and there's nothing but buses. We expect to move about 25,000 people today.
And are you far along on that?
Yeah, I think we're about halfway through. As you can see right behind you, here's a load coming in from the Bloomington hotels, and it's quite a crew.
I'm going to hitch a ride with him if it's okay, Mike, so let's not hold him up here.
Let's you and I go together.
Thank you. All right, here we go. Cindy, we're heading out here. Oh, my gosh, this is full, but we're headed out there.
That's Alan Cox somewhere in transit.
Yeah.
We know that it is cold here, but as a tradition, back when Met Stadium was the headquarters of all football, tailgating parties was the rule of the day. And so the tradition continues, but this time it's inside at the Civic Center over in St. Paul. Brad Good is covering that angle of the story. Brad?
And I'll tell you, if you do not have a ticket to the game, this is the place to be. This has got to be the next best thing to being there. They have 4 15 by 20-foot big screens set up to bring in Super Bowl 26, plus a lot of entertainment going on. Right now, the Johnny Holmes band is down on stage right now with a comedy guy here getting in the way as well. 2 bands will hit the stage before the Super Bowl starts just after 5 o'clock, and there's a lot of activities for kids down on the floor as well. We've got some mini putt-putt golf, the batting cages are set up, a football toss, even some carnival booths filled with prizes for the kids. All the food and concessions are here as well. So a lot going on. They're expecting possibly 14,000 people they've got seats for. One thing, the big thing going on here today, 4 people that are here will not watch the game here. They're giving away 2 sets of tickets for the Super Bowl, so those people will be leaving. But everybody else will have a pretty good seat for the game. Now, there is another huge party going on right now at the International Market Square. Amy Marsalis is there. Amy, I understand it's a beach party you're at. Do you have your bathing suit on?
Oh, very funny, Brad. No, I don't. I've got layers of clothing on. Anyway, they just opened the doors here to International Market Square for the Jose Cuervo Beach Party, and they're expecting several thousand people to wander in here. Now, we've got some celebrities here as well. St. John Smith, who is the king of beach volleyball, is here. Now, you don't see him on the court right now. He's going to be playing in a little while. But also, we have Peter Horton from 30-something, who's volleyball buddies with St. John. You guys, did you ever think you'd be playing volleyball in Minneapolis in January?
No way in the world. You know, Jose Cuervo brought the beach here, and I almost feel like I'm at home.
Is this a big enough court for you?
No, it's a little small, but it's perfect for the girls. I don't know if you've noticed.
All right. And, Peter, you going to the game today?
Yes. That's the main reason I'm here. That and playing volleyball with St. John on a tiny little sand volleyball court inside a dome.
What do you think of the Twin Cities hosting the Super Bowl? What do you think of the cities so far?
So far it's been great. We were here at a party last night. That was a lot of fun. No, it's been nice. It's a lot different than I thought it was, although it'd be a little bit better if it was a little warmer.
Oh, you California guys, thank you very much. Have a great time. Again, they're going to be playing volleyball here and just partying until about 10 o'clock tonight. They have 2 big screen televisions to watch the game, and they're going to be giving away some tickets. for the Super Bowl. So a big party here on the beach. Didn't bring my bathing suit, though. I'm glad I didn't. But some people did, and they're having a great time. Back to you guys.
I myself had not noticed.
You're in the wrong spot, Don.
Thank you very much, Amy. And we'll be back to you quite often during this broadcast. If I have anything to say with it.
Anything to say about it, right. Well, you know, we've talked a lot about how people got here to the Twin Cities. We've heard of the shuttle buses. We've heard of the planes. One mode of transportation we haven't talked much about is train. And Bill Hudson has more on people coming to the Twin Cities via the trains.
When you have your own luxury rail cars, you can afford to roll into town with your own entertainment. Harry and Betty Quadracci call it the ultimate RV.
We've been doing this for the last, our first Super Bowl that we went with the train was Super Bowl 22, and we've added 4 cars since then, so we've been building the train at the Super Bowl.
This owner of a successful printing company, Quad Graphics, has restored these vintage rail cars to entertain clients. 24 business guests can live it up here without ever leaving the train.
We did have some hotel rooms when we got here for some of our clients, and they didn't want to leave the train. They'd rather stay here because we were all having such a good time.
Parked just a block from the Dome, they'll take in the game without hassles of traffic. Elegance without the need for limousines. I'm Bill Hudson.
It's Domino's Double Up Deal. 2 medium pizzas, each with 1 topping, just $10.99. A double helping of Domino's for when you're double hungry.
Nobody like Domino's Double Up Deal.
Hey, Minnesota, now Domino's gives you an exclusive limited edition Super Bowl 26 Bullet Ball, plus a 6-pack of Coca-Cola Classic or Diet Coke, all for only $2.99 with any Domino's pizza order. Call 835-3535 now while supplies last.
Come on, Raisin Bran is Raisin Bran. What's this? Total Raisin Bran, huh? Big crisp flakes, lots of raisins. This is amazing. Total Raisin Bran has 100% of lots of vitamins and minerals. And Kellogg's has only 1. I'm surprised.
Total Raisin Bran, the Raisin Bran with the total difference.
I just assumed they were all the same, but they're not.
Dash for cash at your GMC truck dealer. Get $500 cash back on new Sierra pickups. Wide sides, sports sides, 2-wheel drive, 4-wheel drive. $1,000 cash back on new Sonomas. Short beds, long beds, work trucks, or play trucks. Get to your GMC truck dealer and dash for cash.
See your Viking Land GMC truck dealer today.
If it's cold filtered for smoothness and purity, if it's pure cold, and if it's got the name, it's a good thing. Smooth Michelob Golden Draft, an easy-going Golden Draft Light.
So grab a good thing, Michelob Golden Draft.
Grab a good thing when you see it.
That is a helicopter shot downtown Minneapolis, the Hyatt Regency Hotel, which is the official media hotel. And one of the interesting items in the paper this morning, there are 3,000 credentialed media people here this year. Super Bowl number 1, 300.
Do you think they could say a good word about the Twin Cities with all of those people? I think they have said. When they were serious, they said good things.
Yeah.
Now, we want to go to Scott Reynolds, who's in the midst of those 3,000 down there. But most of the teams moved out of hotels within close reach of the Twin Cities, didn't they, Scott?
That's right, Don. In fact, the Redskins have just left their hotel up in Elk River. They should be arriving at the Metrodome at any minute now. They left at about 1:45 in chartered buses. They were at the Riverwood Conference Center in Elk River. Most players stayed there last night, 2 to a room. They've already eaten twice today. They've had breakfast and they have had lunch. Both teams left their metro area hotels, the more posh accommodations, for more remote locations last night. Buffalo vacating the Radisson in St. Paul and the Skins leaving the Radisson South in Bloomington. Now, last night, former Super Bowl veteran and the San Francisco 49er Keith Fonhorst questioned the decision to switch hotels the night before the game, but nobody can use it as an excuse because both teams have employed the same strategy. And not just to get the teams away from the fans. but to get the teams away from temptation, because anybody who might have wanted to sneak out last night and do a little partying before the game would have a much tougher time catching a cab up in Elk River than, say, in Bloomington or in St. Paul. And, of course, the most famous Super Bowl Eve story dates back to the first Super Bowl when Max McGee admittedly stayed out partying all night, didn't think he would play much, ended up getting in the game, catching 2 touchdown passes, and winning the MVP award. Those used to be macho stories back in the 60s, but Don and Cindy, preparation and awareness, it's safe to say, for most players have changed quite a bit since then.
You bet they have, Scott. All right, thank you very much for your reports. We'll look for more of them coming up throughout the rest of our coverage here of Super Bowl 26. Can you believe it?
Finally here. We're going to go back inside the dome now with Mark Rosen, do a little game talk. Mark, I know last year was one of the best Super Bowls in history. The matchup, do you think this one is going to be as competitive?
Well, it certainly should be, Cindy, although you never know. The NFC has dominated recent Super Bowls with 7 straight victories. In fact, the Washington Redskins were the last NFC team to lose a game. And most of the times it hasn't been close. What usually you'll see in a game like this is one team will jump on top and they'll never let up. And the Washington Redskins certainly have the firepower. You hear a lot about their hogs up front. Yes, they do have an incredibly effective offensive line, but what they do best is throw the football. And Mark Rippon, as their quarterback, has quite an array of wide receivers to throw to. Meanwhile, the question is, can this Buffalo Bills no-huddle offense keep the Washington defense off stride? Jim Kelly is a tough-minded, mentally tough quarterback who knows how to run this offense very effectively. And I think Thurman Thomas is the key man. I had a chance to talk to Ronnie Lott yesterday, a veteran of many Super Bowls, and he says you look for the key people, the money players, to be at their best during one particular moment of this football game. It's not the entire game. They'll have one moment to shine, to grasp a piece of history in sports, and those are the players who usually have the best opportunity to succeed. And we're talking about a Thurman Thomas perhaps for the Buffalo Bills, and for the Washington Redskins, probably the quarterback Mark Rippon.
All right, Mark, thank you very much. Now, we know that the fastest man in the NFL will be on the field coming up at 5 o'clock. But the fact is, the fastest man perhaps in our newsroom, you think?
Okay, well.
And perhaps the fastest man in the state of Minnesota is covering the NFL experience. Darrell Savage is standing by. He has more coverage from the Minneapolis Convention Center.
Things here. In fact, more than 6,000 people have done it over the 4 days so far. So I want to give it a shot and try a 25-yarder. You know, we've always been in those positions where we complain about field goal kickers who miss those chip shots. Well, I think this exhibit is to shut all of us up. All right, let's see. 25-yarder. All right, a little low, but it was straight. So we want to give it one more shot and see what we can do. Well, what do you think, Don? Can I make it?
Think you can. You can. You can. It's good, ladies and gentlemen. It's
just short. Oh, well. Story of my life. We're going to throw it back to the two of you. Again, we want to remind you that this is open till midnight tonight, and again tomorrow. The NFL experience continues after the Super Bowl. Back to you, Don and Cindy.
Well, you let us down, Darrell, but now I guess you know how Mr. Norwood felt.
Oh.
I wonder if that's still painful to him. You think?
Don't you think to have a Super Bowl game come down to a field goal and you miss?
He's got a chance to get it back this time, though, doesn't he?
Does he ever? You bet he is. Okay. We're going to take a short break right now and be back with our special pregame coverage of Super Bowl 26. Don't go away.
Like to try Total?
Officially, I'm a Nutri-Grain man.
Hope you're hungry.
I could eat my whistle.
Good. You'll have to eat 4 bowls of Nutri-Grain to get all the vitamins and minerals in 1 bowl of Total.
4 bowls?
Yes. Whole Grain Total has 100% of a day's supply of 12 vitamins and minerals.
4 bowls?
Takes 4 bowls of Nutri-Grain for that.
The call goes to Total.
Is that official?
Yes.
Total. 1 bowl, 100%.
Dash for cash at your GMC truck dealer. Get $500 cash back on new Sierra pickups. Wide sides, sports sides, 2-wheel drive, 4-wheel drive. $1,000 cash back on new Sonomas. Short beds, long beds, work trucks, or play trucks. Get to your GMC truck dealer and dash for cash.
See your Viking Land GMC truck dealer today.
It's Domino's Double Up Deal. 2 medium pizzas, each with 1 topping, just $10.99. A double helping of Domino's for when you're double hungry.
Nobody like Domino's Double Up Deal.
Hey, Minnesota, now Domino's gives you an exclusive limited edition Super Bowl 26 bullet ball, plus a 6-pack of Coca-Cola Classic or Diet Coke, all for only $2.99 with any Domino's pizza order. Call 835-3535 now while supplies last.
People of the Twin Cities are fed up with old stale news at 10. They know that the news shouldn't look the same after 6. Thousands of Minnesotans are demanding fresh news at 10. To meet the demand, Channel 4 aggressively updates the news and gives you late-breaking stories that happen after 6, bringing you the freshest news at 10. Tune in and discover why. When you're watching today's WCCO television news at 10, you won't miss a thing.
We're back here live at the Metrodome for our pregame show, and
pregame.
yeah, but you know the protests that we had expected from the American Indian movement over the nicknames and the names of the NFL teams has started. Now, from this picture, which is shot from just about 500 feet away, does not show you exactly how large a group has showed up. I can tell you that they are wrapping almost 1/4 of the way around the dome, which is a huge distance. So I would reckon, if I could just calculate very quickly, the size of that crowd somewhere around 2,000. And here's a helicopter shot, which gives you a little better idea of the size of this protest. The question is whether size will translate into any meaningful action on the part of the NFL, yet to be seen.
All right. We're going to take a break from this protest now and try to hook up with Alan Cox, who I think is standing by on the phone. He is on one of the shuttle buses that's bringing a group load of people down here to the Dome to watch this game. Alan, you making your way through downtown?
Cindy, we just got off the bus a few moments ago here, and we've gotten to a parking lot just a few blocks away. We were on board with a number of Buffalo Bills fans. There were 1 or 2 Redskins fans who were very quiet and looked a little nervous during the trip. But right now, the folks who are on the bus are getting their instructions on where to come back to. The MTC people are warning them that it's going to be a little congested afterward because everybody's going to be trying to get out of the Dome at the same time. But so far, the operation to move all these people around, the fans say they're satisfied with it, and it should work well as long as we just stick with flurries for the rest of the day.
The teepee over here.
Alan, any sign of gridlock that we had during the superstorms?
No, not at all. There was a little bit of crowding down there by the Hyatt with all the buses, and I'm looking at a articulated bus, a double bus that is just jammed with people coming over here. Some of the folks waiting on the mall to hop on the bus, they had to be turned away because it was so full, but then they were told you're only a few blocks from the Dome anyway. So at this point, at least in the downtown area, everything's moving fine.
All right. Thank you very much, Alan Cox. Appreciate that. We're going to take a moment now to tell you about well, we've been talking all week long about how hard it is to get a ticket to this game and how expensive those tickets are. Well, there is a young man in Bloomington who is the victim of just a terrible accident who got word just yesterday that he is going to come to this game today, and it has to be a thrill of a lifetime. Here now is his story.
Okay, we'll leave your oxygen off for now.
2 months ago, Mike Meyer could barely move after suffering severe burns over 90% of his body. Meyer had started a fire at his Bloomington home using gasoline, and doctors weren't sure he'd survive. Today, Mike Meyer is going to the Super Bowl, thanks to a local company which donated tickets after learning what a big Bills fan Meyer is.
Yeah.
Meyer started rooting for the Buffalo Bills last year when he attended a school for the deaf in New York. That's where he met Peter Matthews, a diehard Bills fan. Matthews packed a few of his favorite Bills shirts and drove 18 hours when his friend invited him to today's game. It was just this week that Meyer got to leave the hospital in a limo, courtesy of his coworkers at Byerly's. That story prompted IDS Financial Services to invite Meyer to the Super Bowl.
I think my life has changed since the accident. If it wasn't for the accident, I wouldn't be going to the Super Bowl game, or I wouldn't have known that I would have gotten a lot of support from a lot of people.
For him to be physically able to walk in and enjoy the game and be a part of it, I mean, it's super.
The two Bills fans say everything about today and their team is super. Even the team's cheerleaders, the Jills, who signed a Get Well card for Meyer. And in just a few hours, Meyer and Matthews will see the Jills and the Bills close up.
Dash for cash at your GMC truck dealer. Get $500 cash back on new Sierra pickups. Wide sides, sports sides, two-wheel drive, four-wheel drive. $1,000 cash back on new Sonomas. Short beds, long beds, work trucks, or play trucks. Get to your GMC truck dealer and dash for cash.
See your Vikingland GMC truck dealer today.
Come on, Raisin Bran is Raisin Bran. What's this? Total Raisin Bran, huh? Big crisp flakes, lots of raisins. This is amazing. Total Raisin Bran has 100% of lots of vitamins and minerals. And Kellogg's has only one. I'm surprised.
Total Raisin Bran. The Raisin Bran with the total difference.
I just assumed they were all the same, but they're not.
It's Domino's Double Up Deal. 2 medium pizzas, each with 1 topping, just $10.99. A double helping of Domino's for when you're double hungry.
Nobody like Domino's Double Up Deal.
Hey, Minnesota, now Domino's gives you an exclusive limited edition Super Bowl 26 bullet ball, plus a 6-pack of Coca-Cola Classic or Diet Coke, all for only $2.99 with any Domino's pizza order. Call 835-3535 now while supplies last.
A good laugh, a good chill, a good sign, a good thrill, a good boy, good girl, it's a good time world. You got the goods. You know a good thing when you see it.
Only 1 draft beer.
So grab a good thing, Michelob Golden Draft.
Delivers the goods.
Michelob Golden Draft.
So grab the pure cold.
Good thing.
Cold filtered.
Good thing.
Smooth.
Michelob Golden Draft.
So grab a good thing.
Don Shelby and Cindy Hilger back here in front of the Metrodome, the site of Super Bowl 26, which is now about 3 hours away.
And it's only fitting that when you throw a Super Bowl in what you'd have to say is a sort of socially conscious Minnesota, that our minds not only go to the game itself, but to some of the things that surround it, particularly in this case, what is going on with the American Indian movement and the protests. And Mike Walsher is standing by near Gate F, where the protest of about 1,000 to 2,000 people, Mike, it should be getting near you now.
It's coming very close, Don. One thing the Indians did today is they set up a teepee on the sidewalk outside Gate F. That was the first thing they did. With the permission of the Metropolitan Sports Facilities Commission, they will be rallying around that. That's right at the main spot where all the fans are arriving. The protest now winding around the south edge of the Metrodome, and the protesters will be arriving here and will mix in with all the fans who are going into the gates. Don and Cindy.
All right, Mike, thank you very much. Well, it's celebrity watching time. This is the place to be on the planet if you love sports or if you love to have your picture taken.
And a lot of people are in town for this game.
Pat O'Brien, the correspondent for CBS, told us to make sure we watch right around 4 o'clock because he said he's got not only some good pregame stuff, but some good comedy about the Bears. So listen up. Thank you very much for joining us on this pregame show.
Good afternoon, everybody. Enjoy the game.
It's Super Bowl Sunday. This WCCO Super Bowl Sunday special has been sponsored in part by Total. One bowl provides 100% vitamin and mineral nutrition for the day. By GMC Trucks, the official truck of the 1992 Super Bowl. And by Domino's. Call Domino's now and get a Super Bowl super deal with any pizza purchase.
Big savings on herbicide costs. It's why you see more and more farmers switching from dual to Eradicane herbicide. Because with the new lower price of Eradicane, the best buying herbicide just got better, which means it can help you clear More than just your fields.
Eradicate the Smart Start. Oh, yeah. It's Domino's Double Up Deal. 2 medium pizzas, each with 1 topping, just $10.99. A double helping of Domino's for when you're double hungry.
Nobody like Domino's Double Up Deal.
Hey, Minnesota, now Domino's gives you an exclusive limited edition Super Bowl 26 Bullet Ball, plus a 6-pack of Coca-Cola Classic or Diet Coke, all for only $2.99 with any Domino's pizza order. Call 835-3535 now while supplies last.
Never has so much thought gone into so much fun for so little. The all-new Achieva from Oldsmobile. Lease for just $199 a month with nothing down. Choose a 2-door for fun or a 4-door for family. Get anti-lock brakes, a quad-4 engine, auto, air, AM/FM, and more for only $199 a month with nothing down. Now that's the power of intelligent engineering. See your new generation of Oldsmobile dealers today.